Good evening and welcome back. And another week of talking technical. And thank you. I cannot remember the lady's name, but she really complimented me on Twitter just to say that she loved the show of last week. So I hope I helped you, and I hope you maybe got a good share to buy, and I hope you make some money. So thank you for all that's watching the program. We also get a lot of comments via email or via Facebook or even via WhatsApp. Just to say thank you or send a request through. So it's nice doing this for the community. And of course, it's my passion. And of course, I like to dabble within the charts and see what the informed capital is telling me. But the first request for tonight is Northam Platinum. Now, if we look at this, remember the platinum shares lost a lot of momentum. Can you believe that Northam Platinum was around April was around 260 rand, and it's trading now at about 170 rand. So it just shows you there was a lot of selling there. And a lot of investors would love to buy it again because they believe that the commodity cycle is not over and dusted. They believe that there can still be a little bit of a rally. So let's just do the old simple thing. Let's just use the resistance line. And I want to do that. There you are. I've combined and let's have a look then. There's your support line. There you are. And what do we see? We see a falling wedge. And as we all know, a falling wedge is usually a positive formation. So, yes, if you believe that Northam offers some value and you believe that you can buy it, well, you're on the dot there. Above 169.58. It will give you a beautiful bounce out of here, and it can maybe take us all the way back. Let's just show the viewers where do we get the target from. Then they can maybe check it as well. There you are. I'm doing that, and it can maybe go back to about 208 rand 95 cents if it plays out this almost, you can say, falling wedge. If it plays out, then it can maybe go to that 208 level. But on the other hand, where's my stop loss? And I had an interesting question this week. One of our readers asked, he was looking for a stop loss, and he said to me, Frans, there's so many strategies, and that is the point. With stop losses, it's usually an individual thing. Sometimes you've got an idea that you want to use a 3% stop loss. I usually like to use support lines of candles or even line charts to help me with some stop loss levels. It's for you to decide. And the big thing, it mustn't be too big. So if we look at Northam, if you buy it, say, above that 169 level, where's my stop loss? I will use this spot there as my stop loss, because to go and use your stop loss there right at the bottom of 149, that's almost a 25 rand stop loss. That's quite a lot. So I will rather use this point, and that will be 161.41. So it is still about a 10 rand stop loss, but it's not that bad. So let's hope it can maybe bounce to the top. And remember, there's something very interesting happening in the world. I looked at the S&P 500 over the weekend, and it all looked like the S&P 500 wants to pick up. Now, there's either one of two scenarios. Either there's a lot of money involved here and say, listen, we're looking through this intercycle. We're not worried about inflation, and we believe that stocks has seen proper pullbacks, and maybe we can buy. But one thing is for sure, we first need to see some higher lows, and we almost last week was on the brink of a higher low in the S&P 500. Our market is still almost unsure what to do. If there's like a triple bottom on our top 40, we'll have to see if that come into play. But on the other hand, the S&P tells me that some investors believe that the worst is behind us. So let's see if the worst is behind us, because it's actually early days. So our next request will be Procter&Gamble. Now, as we all know, Procter & Gamble is a massive company, and same thing here, almost like we see on the S&P 500. This is the New York share that's listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Now, if you look at that, look at this. What do we see here? We see a left shoulder here, we see a head, and we see maybe a right shoulder here. And there was the low in June. That was when everybody was so negative on interest rates and was so nervous about the inflation. But suddenly these shares bounced off here. So I see an inverse head and shoulder. There you are. You can see it clearly on the chart. And now we must decide, is this going to be the bottom pattern? Is that going to be the start of a new move to the upside? Or is that telling us that the bear market in the American markets are all over? Very interesting. This bear market maybe lasted, let's call it a month. But investors that's been in markets for many years, like myself, know bear markets can sometimes last up to 9 months, 12 months. I've seen them 3 years, and suddenly everybody is just saying a 1 month bear market is done and dusted with all the bears. Now we're going up. So maybe again another nice move to the upside. But where's my neckline? My neckline sits at 145.34. When it breaks above 145.34, we can see this inverse head and shoulder come into play. And where's my target? I mean my full target. Let's first give you the full target, because I always give a full target and I give a conservative target. Where's my conservative target? That's a tiny target, but doesn't matter. It's still a target. And while I'm looking at this, thank you for all the investors that's sending us requests, because sometimes we do get some wonderful requests on the program. Well, my conservative target will be 149.20, and my target to the full, if it plays out to the top, is 160.54. Nice move that. And my stop loss will be 140.38. So it's a nice tight stop loss. Procter&Gamble chart looks like it wants to turn around. Let's see if it can turn this neckline into a support, and then off we go. And then we can maybe see a beautiful rally to the top. Let's look at United Bancorp. Now, this share is still under pressure, also listed on the New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ. And I mean, this share came all the way from $21. It's now around $15. Same thing. Let's see if we can get a reversal pattern here as well. There's the support line. Combine the dots there. And let's see if we can see another falling wedge here. There you are, spot on. Another falling wedge. Just shows you that investors are happy. They're starting to see an opportunity here. Let's just have a look here. I just want to draw in that line. And there you are. We just broke this falling wedge to the upside. Our target was 15.30. Just bounce above that. That's positive. And what do we know? A falling wedge usually gives you a nice rapid move. So let's see if it can get to, and there's my target, will be $16.12. My stop loss will be $14.90. And I mean, nice chart. I mean, it sold off nicely. It sort of pulled a base here. We're seeing a falling wedge. Where's the first sign of a higher low? That can maybe be a double bottom, but my higher low will only be visible above that little line there. I just want to show you, because a lot of these charts are giving some nice turnaround formations, but it must, for me, give us a higher low to make me excited. And the higher low will be above $15.60. Let us look at one of the local giants, the banks, and that's Capitec. And first of all, I was a little bit worried a while back. I saw this head and shoulder formation. I just want to draw in this line there. There was the neckline. And what did this company do? This bank, almost you can say, play around this level for a while. That level was 197.230. And that neckline was tested for quite a few days. But then the neckline suddenly started to become a support. And what do we see? We bounce off there, and it looks like there's the low. There's a nice higher low. Let's see if we can get another higher low above 2075. But of course, a lot of investors will say, Frans, but you mustn't look at that head and shoulder formation. You must look at this. And we see a falling wedge. So this market is full of falling wedges. It just tells us that this market can actually go up. Capitec can go up. So where can it go to? Let's have a look here. There's the falling wedge. I'll give you the levels now, where to enter and the stop losses. Let's just see. There's the falling wedge. Wow, it can go all the way up to 221.774. If you do buy it above 2060, and then use a stop loss of 193450, and let's see, maybe it can go back all the way, can you believe it, that 2,220 rand level. I mean, what a move. But there's something interesting here. Although you see a falling wedge, does that mean that the head and shoulder formation is off the table? Let's have a look. And that's quite important. It doesn't say that the head and shoulder formation is off the table. It just says to us that, yes, we can see a beautiful relief bounce out of this neckline that we've seen here. Where will I say that this head and shoulder will be off the charts? And that will be, I will use that left there. That's the top of my left shoulder. I will use, let's just do the right there. I will put that one in there. So I will get nervous about this head and shoulder formation if the share can start to consolidate above 2178. Now, we'll also see that that target of us is almost close to this level. So yes, we can see a beautiful relief bounce here. We can maybe go to that level. This ugly head and shoulder formation that we've seen in the past is maybe still with us. And I really hope that I'm wrong, because a lot of investors wouldn't like to see Capitec down to 1,676 Rand. That is the story here. If the share gets at this point in time and it starts to roll over, maybe if you did trade that falling wedge, maybe think about locking in your profit, because we can still see this ugly head and shoulder formation play out, and that will make me nervous. But on the other hand, Capitec is doing good business. They've got a wonderful team of executives. They've got a brilliant model, and I think they're just gaining in composure and getting a lot of clients. But it doesn't mean that the share can maybe surprise and go lower. Well, visit our website www.fransdeklerk.com for more info, and we will chat again.